Good evening. Thank you for coming to STAR. It's always good to see you here. A couple of announcements. The fundraiser that we had started earlier runs until the end of May. And if you haven't had a chance to participate in that, there's still time. So you're welcome to do that if you like. All in all, though, I think we're moving along pretty nicely. It's all working real well. Another thing, the STAR Council will meet next Saturday, one of two kind of tandem meetings. And we'll be talking about our financial health, about our search for a permanent minister. But we'll also be planning our next service year. And that led me to look at what we already have scheduled over the next 4 months. And I'd like to just kind of run through that briefly with you and remind you what's coming up. Tonight, we have Lauren Grattenstein, who will later be introduced, I think, by Emily Nelson, who's the service creator for tonight. Sue will take us through Richard Rosen's book, Buffalo in the House, at the end of May for our final Sunday salad with a book for this year. In June, we'll have Healing the Inner Child and the Celtic Season of Letha, which is the summer solstice. In July, we'll hear about recovery from substance abuse and an organization called Favor. And we'll take a look at why a life of faith is happier than one without belief. Our service year ends in August with a look at near-death experiences, and our final gathering is a puppet show. Please don't miss any of these. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it, and appreciate each and every one of you. I know it's Mother's Day. Sometimes we have a large crowd, sometimes not, but we have a lot of illness this go-round, so a lot of the folks were unable to be with us, but y'all are here, and we have some Zoomers, I believe. 3 Zoomers, so we welcome our Zoomers. It's been an unusual week, but I think we owe a congratulations to our Roman Catholic brothers and sisters on the election of the new Pope. As we say in our household, this Pope gives us hope. And I'm hopeful that that will be true, not only for our Roman Catholic brothers and sisters, for each one of us, but most importantly, for the world. This evening, we are going to be celebrating the balance of masculine and divine energy. We will also be creating a prayer catcher, which we do from time to time. More about that as we come along. But we're talking about balance, and balance occurs when we choose it to occur. And when we choose it, and we are balanced, we are peaceful, we can grow, we can love, and we can be healed. So this evening, we are going to be balanced, and at the end of the service, we'll have an opportunity to talk with Lauren over wonderful refreshments, and if you haven't already had a sneak preview of the table, thank you, Sandra. It's wonderful, wonderful. You spoil us, and we love every minute of it. On that note, I'm going to turn it over to Al Jeter very briefly, and then we will have our gathering prayer. Al?
Thank you. I'm not listed here, but I asked Sue if I could take a personal minute with you all. You know, we all have lots of families, and this is one of my families for 25 years. May 10th, yesterday, marked 29 years since my wife Terry died. And Mother's Day sort of then makes you think further, and I was thinking about that and those wonderful years. And my daughter Amanda, whom you've heard about, who sadly since died, was only 6 at the time, but I know that there's a connection here because I was hunting music for tonight, and I came across a notebook full of her senior recital music when she was taking at Converse. And the songs are all about that 18-year-old then in 2008, speaking of missing her mother and those type things. So you may hear some familiar tunes that in a second, I'm going to play for you How Could I Know from The Secret Garden, which is one of my favorite shows and favorite songs. But just wanted to let you know, if you think, why is he playing that tonight? I'm going down memory lane with Amanda's recital, and I wanted you all, my church family here, to be in on that. Thank you. How could I know I would have to leave you? How could I know I would hurt you so? You were the one I was born to love. Oh, how could I ever know? How could I ever know? How can I say to go on without me? Now when I know you still need me so, how can I say not to dream about me? How could I ever know? How could I ever know? Forgive me, can you forgive me, and hold me in your heart, and find some new way to love me, now that we're apart. How could I know I would never hold you, never again in this world, but oh, sure as you breathe, I am there inside you. Could I ever
All right, if you would, please join your voices with me in the call to prayer. O birther, father, mother of the cosmos, you create all that moves in light. Your name, your sound can move us if we tune our hearts as instruments for its tone. desire with and through us the rule of universal fruitfulness onto the earth. Your desire then acts with ours, as in all light, so in all forms. Grant what we need each day in bread and insight, subsistence for the call of growing life. Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' guilt. To you belongs each fertile function, ideals, energy, glorious harmony during every cosmic cycle. Amen.
Well, it seems like tonight is a night for memories. The words I'm going to share with you are words written by a woman that I happen to know personally. She was a very active member of the Diocese of Bethlehem in eastern Pennsylvania, and that's where Don and I met, married, had 2 children baptized before we moved to Georgia. Mother Ramaril was very active in many different capacities in the diocese. I first met her probably close to 50 years ago at a retreat that she gave. And she was also involved in an exchange that we did every year with students from Puerto Rico who came and lived with families for a couple of weeks in the summer. And then our kids went and lived in Puerto Rico for a couple of weeks. Don and I hosted 2 of those people before we moved away. One was Ricky, and he was from Puerto Rico, and later we picked him up and we took him off to college because he decided to go to Penn State. And we drove him out and got him settled in his dorm. And the other was a young woman who became a priest. And Mother Ramaril was one of the organizers and the facilitators of that group. So we got to know her a little bit. And these words, when I saw them written by her, just really brought a lot of memories back to both of us. And I'm very honored to be sharing them with you all tonight. Oh, holy woman, you are everywhere, but most of all, you are here, surrounding us in gentle, loving women and men. A robust woman with large breasts and strong arms whose very body says, I am hospitality. A tall, regal, black woman whose eyes see far and who prophesies and says, I am on the journey. And my papers are stuck together. A gay man whose eyes shine out from hidden pools of pain and who wears honesty like a cloak, saying, I am who I am. A lovely young woman with flaxen hair whose lap is filled with children and who says, I am mother. A slender man who moves like a dancer, embodying the beauty of movement, saying, I am full of grace. An older man in worn-out corduroys and shirt whose fatherly ways and sparkling eyes say, I am the storyteller, and my stories never wear out. A quiet, white-haired woman whose wisdom girds her fragile frame like fireflies on a summer's night, who says, I am here. Oh, holy woman, you are everywhere, but most of all, you are here, surrounding us in gentle, loving women and men.
So this evening, I am very happy to say that we have Ms. Lauren Grattenstein coming to talk to us. Lauren is a dynamic financial advisor, accountant, and business strategist known for her ability to blend wisdom, strategy, and soul into everything she does. Her journey in finance began as a teenager working in her father's collection agency, planting the early seeds of her lifelong mission to help families and businesses thrive financially. Today, Lauren is a trusted financial advisor and educator based in the upstate of South Carolina, specializing in financial education, small business strategy, and generational wealth building. She helps families and entrepreneurs make informed financial decisions that align with their goals, values, and long-term visions. Her approach combines strategic insight with a deep commitment to her clients' lasting success. Beyond her professional work, Lauren is a proud mother of 3 and an active community member, community leader. She's very much a leader, dedicated to fostering financial literacy in entrepreneurship and generational empowerment across generations. And I came across Lauren at several different women in business networking groups. And so I'm just super excited that she's here today, and I can't wait to hear what she has to share for us. So, Lauren?
I'm going to travel with this microphone because my computer's over here. I put a little presentation together because I'm a talker, and I was trying to be considerate of your time and get to the point. So oops. Let's see here. There we go, flow. So I'm talking about the currency of abundance. Emily and I have had conversations about stuff, and through those conversations, some different topics came up, and she shared them, and she was like, let's do some more of that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm touching on a few different things. Okay, so money, energy, and abundance are all forms of currency, and currency must flow. One of the things that makes me unique is that I do come from a Native American background, specifically Lipan Apache, which is a little bit different than most of the Apaches that people are familiar with. When we think of the Apaches, usually we think of the West, lots of desert, lots of dirt, lots of cactuses. But my clan is actually from the south of Texas along the Rio Grande. So we are Eastern Apache, and that makes us a little bit different. And I took this excerpt out because I think it's going to make sense of where I'm coming from. And I also put a QR code up here that if you want to go and do some more research on your own, you can have access to this little snippet. So one of the things that I feel makes Native Americans unique is the way that we look at the universe and the way we look at things. And some of the things that we talk about and notice all the time are balance, harmony, and oneness. That we are all one, and not just us, but we have like our brothers and sisters are the moon, are the animals, and it's not humanity outside of everything else that happens. So anything that touches us is part of us and also part of creation, the creator. So up here, so we're called the light gray people. And this whole thing explains why. It actually has to do with the way that we look at the symbol. I know a lot of you might know, like there's north, south, east, west, and there's some colors that go along the medicine wheel. So we look at it a little bit different, and we have colors that coincide with the direction also. So by saying we're light gray people, that's the direction of where we are in comparison to the other Apaches. So the other thing I wanted to point out here is, it says here, one must take a short trip through Lipan cosmology and look at the world through their eyes. I use the word cosmology not to describe a branch of astronomy dealing with the origins and structures of the universe, but in a more general sense to describe the Lipan view of the way in which their universe, consisting not only of the physical world around them, but the entire planet, was structured. For Lipans, all life existed within a circle, just as the inside of the Lipan teepee was circular, with the frame anchored in place by 4 poles. Tribal life existed within the circle in the camp. And then it talks more about like that. But the circle is something that's embedded in everything that we do. And so I wanted to pull that out. And then if you read a little bit more, it'll all make a little bit more sense, but we don't have time for that. So I'm going to continue here with the core truths about flow. We're talking about currency, we're talking about flow. And when you really dive into the word current, currency, and flow, these are some of the images that we get. And you have like the ocean, and if you look at the ocean waves on a wave chart, it looks like flow. Up there, that is a solfeggio frequency on this side, whatever that side is to you. We have, you could see inside the pool the reflections of the way that everything is flowing together. You have the currency of electricity. There is the Schumann resonance right there next to it. There's the stock market, which is also, you've got the flow of how everything intertwines in nature, and then our personal energetic flow, along with crystals, each have a frequency also. So they all express in different ways in physicality, but they're all really the same. So when I deal with money, I have all of my education and experience behind it, but I also I always look at it from the perspective of, this is the heartbeat of the money currency that happens in the world, because the United States really does have a hold on currency. So when I look at the stock market, I'm looking at it like the Schumann resonance. That's the heartbeat of the earth, and then we have the heartbeat of how money and currency are flowing. And I really do see them all as the same thing. And here's just some cerebral things. The etymology of currency comes from the Latin meaning to run or flow, and then the connections of money, energy, currency, emotion, and all three fly when in motion. When hoarding or blocked, they stagnate. And here's just some visuals on currency as well. So here are some common traits of money and energy and abundance. And just take a minute, you can take a screenshot of this if you want. And here's where flow, how it applies to money, how it applies to energy, and how it applies to abundance. So there will be things when you look at this that will make sense, and some things that'll maybe hit you in a different way. It might feel a little bit different in your gut. And I encourage you that if it does, to look at that a little bit more. That might be a little sign of where there can be a little bit more observation in that area. Okay, and I really think it's cool that we're talking about masculine and feminine energy, because when I look at flow and things like this, I think about that too. So you have like a positive and negative energy when you think of like maybe a battery, the north and south poles, magnetic energy. There's always a yin and the yang, the black and the white, the flow of masculine, feminine. And to me, it's all the same. It's just expressed in a different way. So I created this little graphic here because you have the flow, but then you have this like current, right? This current that happens, and you are the power switch. And you get to decide if that power switch of that flow is going to be turned on or turned off. And I think that's an important visualization, because a lot of times we look at everything else around us of why things are not flowing or why things are, and we don't look at ourselves. And ourselves are, we're the buck stops. So we are the power switch. So let me tell you the story about the sponge. I found myself one day washing dishes like I do all the time. And I was washing dishes with this disgusting sponge that was falling apart. And I looked at the sponge and I was like, what are you doing? How did we get here? Why have you not thrown this sponge away? And I was just holding onto this sponge. I literally had a pack of brand new sponges underneath the sink, but I was just using the sponge until, I don't know what I was waiting for, but I was using it forever. And I just had this moment of awareness of where this thing symbolized so many things of why are you doing this? Why are you stopping the flow? Why are you being disgusting? Like, I don't even think that, I think I put it in the dishwasher and like, I thought I could use it another 20 days or years. But that's my story. The sponge woke me up one day and it just made me realize that I've changed my mindset somewhere along the way. I don't know when it happened, but I was sitting there with this dirty sponge and it made me wake up and look at other places in my life where I was doing things similar to that and not like buying the new shoes or maybe giving something to my children and then sacrificing for myself instead of realizing that we can all win. We can all walk around with new shoes. It's okay. And new sponges. So the role of mindset is a scarcity. It's a survival-based mindset of we don't have enough, we might not have enough. Where abundance is a trusted mindset that says there is more than enough, that it will come. So, and how your beliefs impact your behavior: hoarding versus investing, giving versus hiding, control versus trust. So we're not just talking about money when we talk about energy and flow. Just because we have an issue in one part of our flow chart, let's say, it will leak into everything else that has to do with abundance, because the universe doesn't know the difference. It is what it is. So reframing money as a tool and not a goal. A lot of us think if I only had this much money, then I could have this or do this or be happy or whatever, but it's not the goal, it's the tool. And know your value, know you're worthy, and demand your worth. As a woman that deals with a lot of women in business and finance and stuff like that, I always try to gently ask them, have you asked for what you want? If you're not happy with how much money you're making, have you asked for more? Have you told them that you're worth it? Have you explained to them where your value is? Or do you even believe it yourself? Right? Are you taking this small amount of wage because you think that that's what you're worth and they're going to just let that ride? So that's part of it too. And then go with the flow. We have biorhythms. We have planetary alignments. We have mirroring where someone stands in front of us and they have a certain energy and then we kind of like give it back or take it in. And then our intuition is also something big with going with the flow. And I just put this up here, you can read through it a little bit, because I know that a lot of times we think about where we find energy. One of the easiest answers is nature. And what I want to bring up about nature is that, and I love this, like we're talking about the positive and negatives. A lot of us bring ourselves into nature because we need it. Like we need help, we need to ground, we need something. And we don't always leave something for nature also. So if you're the type of person that likes to hike or go into nature, ground, go into water, whatever, try to be mindful to leave something else, because it is that positive and negative. It is the give and the take that will really, bring it into full circle. And then of course, we have things in the human world that that is the energy that we can go and also like feel that energy. If you've ever been on Wall Street, you can feel the energy. It's palatable. It's a little bit wild. And then within ourselves and where we can find it within ourselves. So here's some examples. And then I just put some more examples on this, kind of different ways that we don't think about it, like breath work, the in and the out, the positive and the negative, alignment, making sure we get enough rest, release. We put a lot of on our shoulders, and then we forget to release it. Visualization, grounding yourself in the earth is one thing, but visualizing and grounding yourself in the visualization, seeing where you are and where you want to go. Creative expression, saying yes and allowing. Allowing is a big thing. We protect ourselves and we don't allow so much. And then goal setting and dream big. That's my favorite, dream big. It's definitely one of those. Oh, and I'm going to go back really quick. And I also put the switch and the power button here to remind you that you're in control, but you're also in your power when you do these things. And here are just some examples of some daily activities that you can do that might help get your juices flowing and get that kind of going. And some of my favorites, like tracking money with love and not dread, because I know a lot of people come to me and it was a lot for them to get there. Sometimes there's like an emotional release of just being able to talk about all the things. So I move them through there, and then we go on to where their goal is. And then I love this quote: think of money as a thank you note. So when you give it, you can give it as a thank you note, but when you receive it, and that goes back to your value and your worth, when you receive it, think of it as a thank you note. Someone appreciated you and they're giving you the money because they see value in what you do. And here are just some affirmations on the side. I'm open to receiving money and energy in all forms, and I allow money and energy to flow through me with ease, and I receive abundance in all forms. And just some closing things to think about. And then that's me. And that's the end. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do have a few sheets where you can write down some ideas if anything stuck with you, or bring it home later and digest it and think about it and kind of see where you fall, where you land on that. And that's it. You're very welcome. Oh, and I have a little How Money Works book if you guys want to, just let me know.
Thank you, Lauren. What a wonderful reminder that balance is important in everything that we do. And we also, I liked where you had a statement, journaling, a gratitude journal. I think we take a lot, we don't always give a lot. I love the idea of money being a thank you note, and what a great follow-through to have a journal of gratitude. We've done many services, I think Gail has done several, on gratitude. And it's something that I think we miss often because we're always focused on ourselves. As part of this service, and part of our gratitude, and part of our caring, and part of our circle, as Lauren mentioned, we from time to time create a prayer catcher. And the idea behind this prayer catcher is to take your little prayer card right here and write your prayer. What is your prayer? We're going to spend a few minutes doing that. And as you are thinking about your prayer and as you are writing it, when you have completed it, in the center of the altar is a prayer bowl. And if you would just take your prayer card filled out and put it in the prayer bowl, later on we will send those prayers out into the world. Now, when we think of dream catchers, We think of these wonderful circles that catch all of the negativity, and then send all of our positivity out into the world. There's another way to interpret it also, that the spaces allow all of the negativity to go out into the world, and what is left is the goodness, is the gratitude. So either way, that is what a dream catcher is, and we are going to create a prayer catcher this evening. The netting around the bowl, the prayer bowl, is pink and blue, and when you combine pink and blue in a balanced sort of way, what color do you get? Purple. So on that note, if you all would just take a moment, write your prayer. You don't need to put your name, just put it in the prayer bowl. And then as we come to the end of our service and before we have our refreshments, we will pass the prayer cards around. You will take one, and that will be the prayer that you will be taking out into the world. As we're doing this, Al is going to play for us again. Al. thank you for bringing your prayerful energy to the altar, and later we will send that prayerful energy out into the world. As we do at all of our services, we pass our offering stars. I think I have them here for Gail and Don. They're going to send them around the circle. We are grateful that you are not only worshiping with us this evening, but that you were so willing to share your time and your talent and your treasure. We will be starting our 28th year in September. It's hard to believe. I think Al has the distinction of being our senior member this evening. He's been here a long time, and we are so grateful. If everyone would please stand as we honor the directions. Al will be playing background music. Andy and Catherine will lead us in the directions.
The directions are created by Ginny Doctor of the Iroquois. Facing east. We look to the east and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of rising sun comes red color, our time of infancy, time of emotional growth. Receive love for all that is to come. All together, we give honor and thanks to the Creator. Quarter turn to the right, facing south.
We look to the south and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of warmth comes golden color, our time of childhood, time of physical growth. Receive strength for visit upon Mother Earth. All together, we give honor and thanks to the Creator. Quarter turn to the right, facing west.
We look to the west and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of setting sun comes black color, our time of adulthood, time to seek knowledge, bear fruit for the generations to come. All together, we give honor and thanks to the Creator. Quarter turn to the right, facing north.
We look to the north and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. Place of the ancient ones comes color white, our time of being an elder, time of wisdom, spirituality lives to go forth. Together, we give honor and thanks to the Creator. Everyone face the center, please.
We look to the center of our being and give honor and thanks to the Creator for all gifts given. In the center of this sacredness, we honor all we have become to live with the good mind. Altogether, it is done now. We are complete with the Creator, and now we can go forth to see what we must make to take us where we need to be, that place where love and peace surround. We go with the Creator with us.
Please be seated. I'm going to take around the prayer bowl, and I'm going to ask that each one just take a prayer. We don't want you to take your prayer. We want you to take someone else's prayer. And if you would, during the next few weeks, if you would put that prayer card in a place that you see that's constantly there for you to offer that prayer. On a bathroom mirror. I keep mine on the visor in my car, and every time I pull it down, I can offer that prayer. It's so important that we, as balanced beings, take the prayers, not only our own, but the prayers of so many others out into the world, because when we share, we have abundance. We have love. We have peace. We have strength. And we are healed. Al is going to play something for us, and I'm going to come around. We just take a moment of silence, and if you would read your prayer silently to yourself so that it can make an imprint on your heart, it can be sealed in your heart so that it walks with you and you carry it out into the world. As we end our time together this evening, and before we have refreshments, Lauren will be with us. If you have questions or you'd like to talk with her more, she'll be right there with us. I just want to say thank you, Sandra, for all you are doing. You are in our hearts and prayers as you are experiencing chemotherapy. We love your hat, sweetie. On that note, let's everyone stand. We're going to sing Let the River Run, and then I will offer a short benediction, and then it will be time to have a sweet or two or one of those great veggie sandwiches. All right, Al. Sing the greatest song, stand on a star, and blaze a trail of gold through the darkening dawn. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nations, come to New Jerusalem. One more time. Stand on a star and blaze a trail of gold through the darkening dawn. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nations, come the New Jerusalem. Sophia, wisdom, you of the whirling wings, circling, encompassing energy of God, you quicken the world in your clasp. One wing soars in heaven, one wing sweeps the earth, and the third flies all around us. Praise to Sophia, praise to wisdom. Let all the earth praise her. Amen. Until next 2 weeks, we'll be here to talk about Buffalo in the House. Look forward to seeing y'all. You haven't read it? It's okay. Can't bring a salad? It's okay. We'll see you together.